Hey guys, AC here. Another review. This time I've got an Armaf and it is called Le Parfait. This is the box. It's a cardboard box which has got kind of dark grey silver. It looks like perfume bottle packaging from the 90s. Nothing special, guys. Uh, in the inside it says Armaf. One thing that confuses me about Armaf, I do not know if it does confuse you, it says Sterling at the back. Sometimes you wonder if it's a Sterling fragrance or an Armaf fragrance, but that's just one of those things. The bottle, if you leave the packaging alone, which is quite ordinary, looks quite nice, you know. It's kind of a dark graphite colored bottle, plastic bottle, I believe, magnetic cap, silver sort of a flacon inside this plastic casing. The front of the bottle also reminds me of the old James Bond movies. If you remember, in the old movies, they used to have this little spirally thing from which James Bond used to shoot. It reminds me of that. I find the bottle to be quite nice. You know, it's a snug size, 100 ml, and I believe it's an eau de toilette made in France. Quite a nice little bottle. Yeah, as compared to other Armaf bottles, which are slightly wacky. If you think about it, I mean, I will be showing you a few Armaf bottles today, and you can see for yourself that their packaging is a bit different. So, anyways, I've got a dry down on my left hand, and let's start with the spray, and I'll let the spray settle for a second. As you've seen in the title, this looks like a concoction created out of 4 prominent features within the Creed line, and I can smell it here. You know, when you spray this fragrance, within the first few seconds, first thing that comes to mind is a sour, lemony green Irish tweed. Yeah, but the actual notes, according to Fragrantica, don't have lemon verbena or violet flower or iris, which are the key components of green Irish tweed. But it smells uncannily similar to another Armaf, Très Nuit, and it's just a very smoothened and sort of tangy, sour green Irish tweed. It's really interesting, the beginning. It reminds you of Très Nuit or green Irish tweed. Très Nuit is a very, very good clone of green Irish tweed, guys. I mean, if you haven't already got it, I think you should try this one. This is a fantastic fragrance. But the beginning, as I said, it's a lovely beginning because green Irish tweed beginning is one of the most legendary beginnings in the fragrance game, you know. And Très Nuit is right hot on its trail, so it smells really nice, smooth, easy green Irish tweed with a tangy sort of underflavor, if you like. It's coming from inside the fragrance rather than overtly coming out. So according to Fragrantica, the top notes are pineapple, blackcurrant, and I believe lemon. No, spicy notes. I can't get any spicy notes here. No spicy notes. All I'm getting is green Irish tweed with some pineapple. Yeah, it's very tangy. The fragrance will give you its heart in a few minutes time, and that is when the other fruit, which is blackcurrant, comes to the fore. Yeah, you smell the blackcurrant. So the heart of the fragrance, it's got I believe it's got bergamot, lemon, and musk. Now, bergamot, lemon, and musk are the 3 things which are in common with Ventus, and I believe Silver Mountain Water. Silver Mountain Water has a very nice, beautiful bergamot, and it also has green tea, which is not there in the scent pyramid. But when you hit about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, that is when the Aventus feels comes out. So for the first 2 or 3 hours of this fragrance is basically a, let's say 60% Très Nuit and 20% Club de Nuit Intense and 20% Derby, which is, I think it's called Derby Blanche or something like that, Derby Clubhouse Blanche, which is basically a clone of Silver Mountain Water. So it really surprised me when I've been wearing this for the last 2 or 3 days, testing it different times of the day, and after 2 or 3 hours, it smells more like Silver Mountain Water with some violet leaf or violet flower, lemon verbena at the background. So it's a very weird kind of a transition, but it transitions a lot. It starts smelling like, Green Irish Tweed or Très Nuit, with a sort of a pineapple lemony sort of a heart, transitions into a mix of these three, and then Très Nuit goes out of scene with very little remnants of it remaining. These two come into play. That's the after 2 hour dry down. So as I said, the heart is musk, bergamot, and lemon. Yeah, so it remains tangy, it remains acidic. This is a dry down. This fragrance also has tremendous longevity. You will love the longevity. And the base is just unremarkable. It's remarkable, but this goes out of play and comes in the big surprise. I mean, this fragrance has been reviewed by 3 other reviewers and they didn't pick on it. Maybe because they haven't smelled the other creed. It starts smelling like a combination of Silver Mountain Water and Creed Viking. And I'm testing Viking at the moment with a 5 ml decant. And the reason it smells so much like the dry down of Viking is because of heavy use of ambergris. So what does the base have? The notes in base are obviously ambergris. That's beautiful. The dry down is really good. Ambergris is in the base. Vanilla, jasmine, rose, patchouli. You see the similarities to Aventis. You see the similarities to ambergris is massively present in Silver Mountain Water and Creed Viking. So it's a concoction which has a lot of common elements from these 4 legendary Creed fragrances. But how does the actual fragrance smell after about this dry down is massively long. I mean, I think it is about, if I'm not wrong, this is about 8 hour dry down. That's the longevity, and it's on the top of the hand. I must have washed my hand at least 5 or 6 times in those 8 hours, and I can still smell this lovely silvery excuse me, ambergris, lemony, bergamot, just traces of vanilla and traces of blackcurrant, fruity blackcurrant. Beautiful. And under my shirt, excuse this because I'll have to unbutton my shirt. Under my shirt, it's so close to the dry down of Viking, which is salty ambergris, which is musky in nature. Yeah. So how does ambergris really smell like? And I'm surprised I've used ambergris because ambergris is extremely expensive. Normally people use ambroxan, which is a chemical substitute for ambergris. How does this smell like? You take a new fabric, brand new fabric which you haven't washed, and hold it close to your nose. You'll smell something which is clean, metallic, cold, and slightly plasticky, sour or salty. Some people call it salty. It's actually a sour smell. Because ambergris is nothing but whale vomit which floats across the oceans, turns into an oxidized rock which washes ashore, and it's used in perfumery. Apparently extremely expensive, and I think it's prohibited or banned in a lot of countries. There's a massive piece of ambergris on display in one of the museums in New Zealand. That's where it's found as well. So that's about ambergris, how it smells. So what you smell at the end of the fragrance is very different to what you smell at the beginning. Yeah, the end of the fragrance, as I said, it's a slight musky, sour ambergris, which is metallic in nature, but smells very clean, steely clean. That's the dry down. So all in all, a very, very interesting creation, and it had me thinking because I had to wear it many times to get to the bottom of it. So pros and cons. Well, number one pro is this fragrance will remind you of so many creeds, 4 of them. Yeah. At different times of its lifetime. It's a very interesting composition and it has a lot of transition. And they've all done it for such a low price point, which is the Next Pro. You know, value for money is tremendous. I got this bottle for £20. I think less than £20. So for less than £20, what it's achieved, it's significant. I think the third pro has to be its longevity. It's seriously long lasting. I mean, I've tested it at least 3 times, full wear, and many, single sprays, 2 sprays, just when I'm between learning about this fragrance. And I think every time it's given me more than 10 hours. So longevity, phenomenal, great value for money. I'm telling you that this is quite an interesting investment. In terms of cons, downsides. Now, downsides is when you wear this fragrance, you don't get anything new. You probably own all these fragrances. If you don't own them, it's new to you. But most people who are into the fragrance game have these fragrances, right? I'll be very surprised if people haven't got either of these fragrances, right? So it reminds you of various fragrances. So it could be the familiarity, as they say, familiarity breeds contempt. It could be one of those things, but not to me. I mean, to me, I think I like this fragrance because of how it's tried to pull together the best features of 4 well-known creeds. It's put it together in a bottle, made it very reasonably priced, and still pulled it off. That's the pro. That's a pro for me. But as I said, if you're familiar with all these fragrances, you will say, "What's new here?" Yeah, that's the only downside I can think of. Okay, occasions. I really like the fragrance. There's no doubt about that. Occasions. I think it's quite a versatile fragrance. You can wear this to work. You can wear this in any weather. Today, it was raining, and I was out wearing this fragrance, and I had to walk to my car instead. In fact, I had to run to my car. It was that hard. So when I got in the car, I could get the ambergris and the clean lemony feel even more. In fact, I was thinking to myself, I'm not wearing a new shirt today. It smelled as if a new fabric would, as if you're wearing something a new shirt which you haven't washed. And it smelled like that. So even in rainy weather, it didn't sort of disintegrate, which most fragrances tend to. I mean, these fragrances, if you put it on a shirt, and if you're in rainy weather, you might feel that's disintegrated a bit. So I think weather-wise, it will work in any weather. Spring, autumn, summer, winter, rainy weather, hot weather, it'll work. So it's quite a versatile fragrance. That's another pro, I could say. In terms of performance, I think longevity is the biggest asset of this fragrance. You will not get tremendous amounts of projection. It sits closer to the skin. Yeah. So, but it lasts a very long time. In terms of sillage, it's got moderate to high sillage. Yeah. So if you put, like, say, 4 sprays like I did under your shirt, whenever you move, you'll smell this, but you'll stop smelling this after about 6 hours. Yeah. So I'd say moderate to high sillage. But longevity, I'm a big fan of longevity. It lasts a long time. So I think it's quite a nice offering. Like all the other Armafs, they never disappoint. So I'd like to give it, I would say, a 7.5. Reason I'm giving it 7.5 is it reminds me of all these fragrances, and it doesn't jump off your skin. People will not be able to smell it. It doesn't have tremendously huge sillage, but it does have a moderate sillage. So I'd say 7.5 out of 10 is a fair score. Hopefully, like the video. If you did, do give it a like. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.